What's good? It's your boy, Mr. Get Your Buzz Up. We Get Your Buzz Up, and I'm here with Souls of Mischief. What's up, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
What up?
Man, so this is the first night kicking off your tour from '93 to Infinity 20-year anniversary. What are your expectations going into this tour?
It's been 20 years, man, since we dropped 93 Till Infinity, and I guess the whole theme for us is that when we dropped back then, we didn't have, we were real green, really young, in high school getting a record deal, so we didn't have any expectations past like, this is our opportunity, this is our shot, we gonna make the best of it. And 20 years later, we just reflecting on it, like it's still really surreal to us. We fans more than anything, and that'll never change. So being in all this music stuff and still being here, which is surreal, and still being relevant and having a fan base, it's like, as fans ourselves, our expectations is just to link with those people who made us go this far, who carried us this far. And I can't say surreal enough, you know what I'm saying? This shit is some dream come true type shit.
I feel that.
Most definitely. Oh, you want me to expound upon?
I mean, yeah, if you got something else to say, yeah.
I mean, it's as far as my expectations, it's like when you first get on the road, man, the main thing you want to do is just get the momentum going. You know what I mean? Because every show is going to be different, and we're going a lot of places that we haven't been in a long time, like here. You know what I'm saying? So we just want to just give the crowd, something that for those, it's going to be a lot of new Souls of Mischief fans who probably have been fans for years but have never seen us live, and it's going to be people that probably have seen us live, but maybe other places. But whenever we step on the stage, man, we always want to give it, whether it's our 20-year anniversary or just any ordinary show, we still going to give it the same type of energy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just the main thing is just get the ball rolling and continue what we've been doing.
I got that. So,
Please. I
mean, from '93 to Infinity dropped when hip hop was like 15 years old, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Really, they hip hop. You can see the grassroots and everything before 1978, but the time they count hip hop starting was in 1978. So when you guys dropped the album, it was only 15 years old. Now it's an adult. It's in its adulthood. Everything's changed. What is your overall outlook on hip hop the past 20 years since you guys dropped that classic album?
Personally, me, I'm like happy with where hip hop is right now. I kind of see like some of the work that we put in like the early '90s. You know what I'm saying? Like Wu-Tang Clan, Nas, Pharcyde, all those jewels. That came out, kind of like new stuff coming out back then. And I see young cats carrying the torch right now, like TDE, Joey Badass, all that, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm really happy to see like younger cats carrying that torch, you know what I'm saying? And you also see people taking the independent route too, and not just so quick to just jump in with a label. So that's also a good thing.
It's kind of weird, man, since you named like the dates and stuff, to have the perspective of being in hip hop, remembering the time when there was no hip hop, being alive and being like, there was no hip hop. That window is over for all the kids that are in it now. The young kids that are in it now, they don't even know what it's like for hip hop to not have been there. And to have that perspective and to be able to look at the young kids, like to see retro happen in hip hop is a trip, because once again, we didn't even hear hip hop until 78, 79. I know it was bubbling in the streets in New York. Obviously, we know the history, but we got our first songs ever in 79, and just to see how many times hip hop culture has mutated, changed. It's actually it's a worldwide music. It crosses
subgenres now.
Yeah, multiple subgenres. It's up there, and it's oftentimes surpassed some of the other big genres of music. It's just like a fixture now, and it's just a trip to watch, man. And it's much just like any other thing. Like once it gets bigger, there's more whack shit, but there's also more dope, unique shit too. And it's a wild ride, man. It's like, I'm glad. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I wish hip hop would just stay this way or stay that way or whatever. But yeah, why wouldn't somebody not want hip hop to get as big as it could? You know what I'm saying? Instead of being one of them phase out musics that you could only hear that era from and it ain't no more.
Yeah.
You know, and I respect everybody's angle on it, but yeah, we enjoy like the young cats doing it, the cats that ain't young that's younger than us doing it, the cats that's older than us that inspired us to do it that are still doing it. You know, you got like LL and Cube and motherfuckers still fully out there, you know what I'm saying, from before. So just to see the plethora of all the different kinds of hip hop from that time, to be a part of it is a motherfucking fool, man. We love it, man. It's like, shit, it's the best shit happened to us, man. It's our dream, you know what I'm saying? So.
Now, you guys are still to this day considered iconic legends. Your album from 93 to Infinity is like legendary, a top 10 album, in my book, top 5. So many artists today have copied, sampled, production, lyrics. Your guys' whole, I hate to use this word, but swag back then was new. How does that make you feel knowing that you still have artists today using what you guys had back then now?
Imitation is the purest, greatest form of flattery, I guess. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really look at a lot of cats like they imitating our stuff, because all musicians are influenced at some point. You know what I mean? We're fans of music, so we have our influences as well. But you know, it makes you feel good to see that people took whatever it is, your lyrical style or your beat production style, your clothes you're wearing, whatever, and you know, your video imagery you did, you know what I mean, all of that. It feels good to see people take it and put their own twist on it, so to speak, you know, because it's copycatting in hip hop that's not the business at all. Obviously, it's all about originality, but you know, it's nothing new under the sun. Like, we all look to people in kind of like, you know, like they say with music, it's like imitation and, you know, innovation, you know what I mean? So I think everybody starts off kind of trying to do what you know, when we all started off, we weren't just sick, dope lyricists.
We sounded like Run DMC.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You basically just took the blueprint from other people,
right? You know,
until you were able to create your own sound,
right? You know what I'm saying? And then you know, well, it's say imitation, internalization, and then innovation is what it is. But you know, I mean, the main thing is to get to that point of innovation where you are doing your own thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think those artists that you're talking about, I think they have all eventually done their own thing, where they might have started off kind of looking like in the vein of what we were doing, but now they're on their own planet. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing, is like, because our thing was always originality. You know what I mean? Being who we are, and at the time, I think it was probably even a little bit easier because we were from another planet too back then. So nowadays to see cats,
no internet.
you know, so. You know, I think it's a good thing when cats take what you do and twist it, put their own twist on it.
Your guys' album, it wasn't that your album is iconic. It dropped in a time that forever changed hip hop. It was one of those signature years. 93 changed hip hop. Wu-Tang dropped their album. Snoop dropped his album. Diggle Planets had an album. I believe Scarface dropped his original album by himself in that year. The list can go on.
Tribe dropped their third.
Yeah, Midnight Marauders. I forgot. Yeah,
De La Soul, their third album.
Yeah.
That was just
It was a huge year for hip hop that changed everything for hip hop for at least, I would say, another 7 years, almost a decade. Man, what does it feel like that you guys dropped an album during that year? Like, when you guys think back to 93, it's like, wow, like Wu-Tang, everybody we just listed dropped an album. So you guys were fans, but also you guys were part of this. What do you think about when you think about that?
I kind of think it's dope how Souls of Mischief put a stamp on it, you know what I mean? It actually said 93 till infinity. Like, we spoke on the year, which was like taboo. You're not really supposed to do that because you date yourself and you kind of like, you limit yourself. You kind of box the song in.
Yeah.
But that really added to the song, you know what I mean? The fact that we put the stamp on that year. But I don't think that we did it with any foresight, you know what I mean? It was just being able to be blessed to come up in that era, you know, and it didn't start with us, you know what I mean? It was for us. If you talk to Souls of Mischief, we would be like the golden eras is like EPMD, Rakim, KRS-One. Like when they started Cool G Rap, the East Coast, when they was taking it to a whole nother level, you know what I'm saying? Like lyrically and all that. So that's kind of the school that we're from, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we grew up in Oakland, so we was raised on Too Short.
Yeah.
You know, we loved the Ghetto Boys. DLC was one of our favorite rappers, you know what I mean? Obviously NWA, CMW, all these influences that came together to help us kind of push things forward. So it was so much happening at that time. It wasn't just an East Coast thing. It wasn't just a West Coast thing. It was a global thing, but you also had the South, you had the Midwest, you had the West Coast, you know what I mean? You had the East Coast, you had all kind of genres. You had all these different styles touching each other. And it was a mutual respect, I think, for what people were trying to do, because they were trying to push the envelope. People were trying to do something different. An album like The Chronic was really trying to break down barriers and really do something, blaze a trail. Now that formula sounds like something that is just a pop record, but it really wasn't. It was like a street record kind of, you know what I mean? And it just blew up because of what the essence of it that was there. And I think what you're really trying to do when you make music is you're trying to capture lightning in a bottle. So you're trying to capture like the energy and the vibe and everything. And so many of those people, all those artists that you mentioned, were all, you know, trying to do their best album at that time, and the energy was just electric, you know what I mean? So you could feel it everywhere you went. So yeah.
I'm with that, man. In hip hop, groups tend to break up all the time, especially groups that have been together for long periods of time. And somehow, you guys, as Souls of Mischief, you guys have avoided that. On top of, you guys are part of a bigger group, Hieroglyphics. How is it you guys are able to maintain that?
I mean, this is something we could all touch on, but it's like the key word there is group. It's like we're a family, you know what I'm saying? We grew up in the same area. We've known each other's like hella different ways as kids, you know what I'm saying? And hip hop was something that we did as friends and as family. Groups break up, but you don't break up from your family, you know what I'm saying? That like you got an argument or some shit, you argue with your brother. That's gonna be your brother tomorrow, and at some point, that kind of relationship barriers hatchets way quicker. Family shit. So, we never really looked at it like we're this group. You know what I'm saying? And that's what holds us together. We were like, we're friends that formed this group, and we're gonna take this group here and there and there. So, like everything has its ups and downs, but like groups break up, like family don't. Like it's just way more consideration put into making things right. It matters more, you know what I'm saying? So we haven't had those kind of problems, because like shit that would break a group up is like some bullshit to us as a family, you know what I'm saying? Like family, real family, keep the bread tight. So our bread has always been tight. You know what I'm saying? Groups be looking out for each other and got interest from different managers and shit and pulling people ears and shit happens. I mean, it's a million different ways, but we shielded from that, from being a family. From like, if we wasn't doing hip hop, we'd be friends at our 9 to 5s and having barbecues and shit and kid playovers and shit. So we ain't never, and that goes for Souls and Hieroglyphics. Like it ain't just Souls group around each other. It's all of us, all the Hyro group around each other. So
That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, I was just telling somebody the other day, like, me knowing these brothers for like, let's just say 25 plus years.
We'll keep that.
I mean, you know, how many people can say they have a friendship, you know, with anybody that long, let alone having a business relationship with that person too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's something going on where we just loyal people too, you know what I'm saying? Like coming from good families and, you know, not too many bridges burnt even outside of our friendships, because that's the nature of the type of people we are, you know what I mean? Speaking for Tajay too, who's not here, so, and everybody in Hyro, you know what I'm saying? So, it started with friendship first, that's the foundation. And then when you put music and all that other stuff on top of that, if that comes crumbling down, you still got your friendship as a foundation. So that's we've been, you know, lucky in that aspect to have those kind of people around each one of us.
think that we gotta give some credit to just how we was raised too. Like our parents and our siblings, you know what I mean? They were solid people that taught us how to interact with people and the value of friendship and family and whatnot. You know what I mean? And they also our family was like kind of revolutionary thinkers. You know what I mean? So they always thought outside of the box. They always analyzed things from different ways, and they kind of taught us to where you don't. Obviously, they wanted us to be prosperous and be able to support ourselves, but you don't have to work for someone in order to make money, you know what I'm saying? Legally, you know what I'm talking about? So it's like, it's not all about just working for the next man and making his pockets fatter, you know what I mean? Especially with the talent that we have, like, we understood at an early age that people want to give us money because we can make money, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we can create our own economy within our own self instead of just, you know what I'm saying, dealing with. You can see what's going on with the economy right now. People are losing jobs. You know, the dollar is losing value, but our music is always gonna have value. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is people also see our solidarity and they're inspired by that. You know what I mean? So it's like we see the bigger picture always, financially, politically, whatever. You know what I mean? And we all share that. And so I think that's what drives us to stay together, you know what I mean? Because we have a purpose, actually.
That's so dope. That's ill right there. If there was anything that you guys could take from your era of hip hop, what was going on, and inject it into today's generation, is there anything, and what would that be?
I would say, one thing I really liked about that era, and this is all hypothetical, because who's to say if it's even possible? But I would say everything was more people. There was a bigger push on being inventive, and even pop culture. I guess not so much. Well, just in hip hop, any artist was being inventive, and everybody else was learning from that. If you were fans of the art form, you'd hear what somebody was doing down there in that neck of the woods, and then you hear some completely different stuff from over here, and that set the tone for how other artists wanted to be. Like, I want to be innovative like that, and that was something that was a catalyst for people back then. And hip hop has gotten to be a multi-billion-dollar industry now, and it has paradigms now, and as far as how to present pop music. So it takes away some of the ability for artists who would even be ultra inventive to take that chance. And it's, I don't know if it's possible, because I understand business and I understand when something gets big and it gets corporate, like that's the byproduct of it becoming big, and there's this shit that comes with that. So I fully get that. That's why I said if it's even possible. But like, people are being inventive still. Yeah. But it's some artists, and I'm not trying to judge no artists, but I can even tell when some artists feel boxed in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell they dope, you could tell they inventive, but they still got to do some shit along these lines. Well, back in '93, you didn't really have to do that. You didn't have to go on no lines at all. You could do whatever you wanted to, and the game appreciated it. So, all right. That's my high little spiel about that. All right. Had me pondering this shit. Like,
I mean, real quick, this is the last question. If you could tell independent artists or artists trying to, learn this craft, what is one tip that you each would give them?
I would say, in the face of adversity and naysayers and lack of support, man, let your love and passion for the music be what's driving your vehicle for you. All that other shit ain't gonna matter, man. It don't matter. I know how it feels. I know you wish you would have that support. You wish people would understand. But fuck all that shit. Listen to your heart and the passion of your music. That's all it really takes. As simple as that. Simple as that. Straight up.
That's number one. Number two, I think, is get people around you who you can trust. I know that's much easier said than done, but it's a lot of people that are parasitic in this business. You know what I'm saying? So you want to have somebody, whether it's a lawyer or a manager, somebody that has your best interest. You know, if you can do it yourself, that's great. Go to school, learn all that stuff if you want to do it yourself. But if not, find somebody else who you can trust that knows how to do it, because you can't really do it by yourself. You see, we got a team. We roll power in numbers, you know what I'm saying? So don't put yourself on an island.
Yeah, man. I mean, you guys covered a lot of ground, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's all about the music. That's what I would say. Just focus on the music first and foremost, and everything else will fall into place. You know what I mean? It's like, in order to reach the highest heights in music, you have to be intelligent anyway. All the best rappers are all smart. You know what I mean? So it's like you will do the right things when opportunities come your way, but focus on the music. You know what I mean? Because the opportunities won't even be there unless you got that heat. You know what I mean? So music first.
I knew that real shit always shines, and that my talent would supersede the level I was on that I started at. You know what I'm saying? I knew it would supersede that.